Hello.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, how are you doing, Mr. Bob?
Doing amazing. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
So, what's new with Passage? What do you have for us?
There's something new every week at Passage. So this week we launched Niagara College on Friday.
Wow.
So that's incredible. We're going to be having somewhere between 3 and 5 schools coming on in the next couple of months. So people should stay tuned there. It might be every week. It might be every couple of weeks. But a lot of things are moving quickly here.
Wow. That's nice. Now, the major challenges people are having, or rather the major fear, is we've seen a lot of refusals lately with IRCC, especially with these their new rules virtually every Friday. So how would Passage help, or how is Passage addressing that?
Yeah, I can understand how people are feeling uncertain, a little scared. They don't know if it's going to be this huge waste of time and effort. I think from our perspective, sitting within Canada, maybe a lot of these changes make a lot more sense. We spend a lot of time with the government, with schools, and so on. So we really understand how they think and what they're trying to accomplish. And in fact, we built Passage off of understanding what they're actually trying to do. So the core thing the government is trying to do is pretty simple. Number one, we want to bring in newcomers that fill the job types that we can't fill locally, number one. And number two, you want to make sure only genuine, honest students are coming into Canada. Okay? Unfortunately, a lot of people have been abusing the system over the last 4 years, and the good students take some of that negative reaction from the government.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does Passage do? Think about all of those visa rejections you're seeing. I'm not sure if you know, but across West Africa right now, the visa acceptance rate is roughly 16% Nigeria, 28-ish% Ghana. Why? The largest source of rejection is in the source of the funding proof you provide in the study permit. So everyone knows what happens. You either rent the money from a local bank, you go to the church, you find 32 different bank accounts that you get the money in, you host it in a bank account for 6 months, and then you show that you have the $20,635. Then, as soon as you get the study permit approved, that money all goes back. IRCC has learned that people were doing this, and so they're much more distrusting of people's bank account statements as a source of proof to show they have the money to be in Canada. Okay. Now, what Passage does is we are a Canadian lending institution. That means we are highly, highly regulated by the Canadian government. And in Canada, you cannot mess around when it comes to money. Okay? In fact, something like saying someone has money and they don't is 30 years in prison. It's called wire fraud. It's a very big deal.
Yeah.
So what Passage can do that's really hard for anyone else to do is, because we're providing all of the money for your tuition and your first year of living costs, when you go to submit that study permit, the border agent isn't thinking about who is this bank in Nigeria, is it real, is it fake? They're looking at a Canadian bank that they probably use from a Canadian institution that they know, and that they can verify the money is real in real time. So all of this confidence goes to the border agent when they can verify that the money you're using to come to Canada is real. This is going to give you much, much higher chance of getting that study permit approval.
So now, if I am using a loan to study abroad, why would the government want to approve me? Because now we are aware that as per IRCC standards, you're supposed to show that you are returning back to your home country. So if I'm using a loan to pay for my education, does that not mean that I will have to stay back and work till I pay?
Very good question. So, number one, I'm not sure if you know much about India, the largest study abroad country by far.
Yeah.
60 to 70% of Indian students coming into Canada have a loan.
Yeah. Okay.
85% study permit approval rates.
Wow.
Why? It's not that the loan makes it so that people don't believe you'll return home.
Okay.
It's the way that you prove that you can actually have the money to support yourself. Okay? So, number one, the majority of students coming in from India already have a loan. So IRCC is aware and they understand how it works. For us, what we do is we make sure that we not only get the students into Canada, but we make sure we get them relevant jobs while they're in school. And that great full-time relevant career job when they graduate.
Okay.
This way we know the student won't take very long to actually repay the loan because they're going to be earning a good amount of money. So the IRCC just looks at it, okay, the student will do this program, Passage will help them get this job. I believe that they'll be able to fully refund long before the time comes for them to either apply for permanent residency or return home after the PGWP ends.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what you're trying to tell me, if I understand you correctly, that Passage is going to give you like a support system. Your work doesn't just end by giving loan.
Correct.
It becomes like a community.
This is one of the things I try to stress the most. We have done a lot in this industry.
Yeah.
We already built the largest company that you very well know in this space.
Yeah.
We built this because we wanted to help students that had experiences like we did.
Yeah.
All of us had lives where someone took a chance on us at some point, gave us money when they had no right to, and it is what allowed us to get here.
Yeah.
We're trying to pay that forward and making sure we can do it sustainably. So the core idea here is systematically offering the ability for amazing, deserving kids all over the world to get access to better opportunities, regardless of how much money you have. That's going to be a long process, but today we're starting with the product as it is. We're going to work with schools across Canada, but 5 years when we're having this conversation, we will be talking about we're helping students to Argentina and Germany and South Korea and China and wherever there are better opportunities for students.
Okay. Wow. Thank you very much. So what's your last message to anybody that is still scared of using a loan? Because now some people, they don't, loan, it's something when you come in, you have to work and you have to pay. So is it a burdensome? Is it something that is going to weary them down? Because, for example, I understand that if they don't pay their loan, their credit score goes bad and nobody would rent or give them money in Canada, or they cannot have access to financial products. You understand? So will this loan become an extra burden for them, or from the many you've done, from the feedback you've gotten from the student, what is it like paying this loan?
So keep in mind the way that the whole loan works. We don't have their parents' income or houses or businesses or anything like that to go after. What does that mean? It means in the worst situation, you come to Canada, you hate it, you want to go back to Nigeria. I have no recourse. I will lose a lot of money. Okay? What does that mean? The only way I believe I can get a very good chance where everyone will want to repay me is if I can show that I can make them so much money and so much success here in Canada that they're happy to repay me as part of the cost of that. So this way, if you think about it, I am the only one with my neck on the line to make a student successful, not just to get into school, not just to get the study permit, but until they are successful and self-sustaining in Canada, I'm the only one whose neck is on the line to make sure that they're doing well. And this is why we offer these services that we were talking about earlier, where we are actively helping students get unstuck for finding accommodation on the ground, helping them learn how to think about things like credit score so they can really live a comfortable life here. 3, helping them think about how to go get jobs in Canada. That's everything from building your resume, thinking about cover letters, how do you network, how do you hold yourself in an interview, all of these little things that build up to determining how good life is going to be here. So I usually use the phrase like we're trying to teach people how to fish. We're like an aunt or an uncle in that we'll be here to help them, but our goal is that we should make them self-sustaining where they don't even need us eventually.
Wow, that's massive. Okay, lastly, my last question is, let's say I come to Canada and I become really successful using all these available resources. I want to pay this loan under a year. Is there any penalty for early repayments?
Absolutely not. The whole way that we designed the loan was we made it 7 years of repayment so that we could make the monthly payment as small as possible. This is so when you're working and you're getting profit each month. you can use that profit to repay the loan, no fee, no charge. And in fact, I don't expect very many students at all will take 7 years to repay.
Yeah.
I'm confident enough that I think most students will be able to repay within 3 years.
3 years.
The point is, for those people that we're helping who are from the lower economic classes of society, they maybe don't have a sponsor, mom and dad, to rely on for financial support. So for those students, it's really important that I create a product that gives them as much flexibility as possible, because life happens when you're overseas.
Yeah, sure.
We need to make sure this product works for everybody.
Yeah.
The people who are well off, the people in the middle, and the people who have nothing.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. You've heard it all. And what are you waiting for? You just have to come and study in Canada. You don't have to be scared about IRCC. And like you heard from him, we are going to signage with both immigration consultants and experts in the industry to give you a higher chance of your success, of your study permit being approved. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you. Bye.